Naruto vs Gaara is a Naruto fight that will appear in almost every fan's top 10. It has cemented itself as one of the greatest fights in anime, and rightfully so. In this video, I will be breaking down the components that make a great fight: the build-up, emotion, phases, and conclusion. For build-up, by the start of the Chunin exams arc, Sasuke has already made it clear that he was the strongest member on his squad. Lee shows up and shows Sasuke how much he has to learn. Lee easily defeats Naruto and Sasuke without any jutsu, just martial arts. During the Forest of Death, Lee comes to rescue Sakura and engages in battle with Dozu. Though he didn't win, he showed off a deadly technique and we begin to respect him as a person. For Gaara, Kabuto revealed that he had taken on B and C rank missions, along with the fact that he had never been injured on any one of them. When compared to Team 7, who almost died on their first C rank mission, this gives us a sense of how dangerous he is. During the Forest of Death, first Akamaru is scared of him, and then the entire Team 8 is when they witness him crush his surrendering opponents to death after blocking all of their attacks. Gaara and his squad are also the first ones to pass the Forest of Death, and they do it way before anyone else does. At this point, Gaara and Lee are some of the stronger ninjas taking the exam. For emotion, Rock Lee has one of the most tragic backstories in Naruto. In a world where everyone can at least pull off some kind of jutsu, Lee was physically unable to. Unlike Guy, who just sucked at it, Lee was literally incapable of using ninjutsu or genjutsu. He was put at a major disadvantage, but he never gave up. He would always train, but never reach the short goals he gave himself. After graduating from the academy, his dream was to show the world that he could become a great ninja without using ninjutsu or genjutsu. In his squad, he was always overshadowed by Neji. During missions and sparring, Lee began to doubt himself, but Guy told him that he had a special ability of persistence and began to personally train him. After his training, Lee became the taijutsu master that he is now. In the preliminaries of the exams, Lee and Gaara are pitted against each other. When the battle begins, Lee attacks Gaara with his taijutsu, but Gaara defends himself with his sand. The first phase has Lee struggling to harm his opponent, while he is also forced to dodge Gaara's attacks. When Sakura asks why he doesn't try something else, it is finally revealed that Lee can only do taijutsu. Gaara stays stationary during this encounter because his sand is automatic, putting the crowd in awe. In the second phase, Guy gives Lee permission to open the gates. In one of Naruto's greatest scenes, Lee drops his training weights and opens the first gate. This greatly increases his speed, and Gaara's sand defense is unable to keep up. Lee gets his first hits during this phase. This phase ramps up the intensity by turning around a previously hopeless situation. The ultimate underdog is showing the fruits of perseverance. Eventually, Lee's clean hits are downplayed and undercut when it is revealed that Gaara has a second defense, his sand armor. Lee's hits are shown to have no effect, so he decides to use the Lotus that was seen against Dozu. Gaara isn't sent up with the first kick, so Lee lets loose a combo of kicks that send Gaara airborne before ending the phase with primary Lotus. The third phase begins with the devastating reveal that Gaara substituted and Lee wasted his technique on an empty sand shell. Because opening the gates causes immense strain on the body, Lee is unable to move and is brutally toyed with by Gaara. After taking a lot of damage, Lee gets back up with a smile on his face and begins to dodge again. Lee opened the second gate, and the 8 gates are explained. The fourth phase begins with Lee opening the third and fourth gate. With blinding speed, Lee bypasses Gaara's sand shield yet again to launch him into the air. As Gaara's sand comes to protect him, Lee uses Hidden Lotus and begins to pummel his opponent around the arena without letting him touch the ground. Lee's speed and strength are greatly increased, and our underdog is back on top. Neji, the rival that Lee could never beat before, is now impressed by his new technique. Right before Lee delivers the final 2 blows, he opens the 5th gate. The strain Lee is putting on his body is visually displayed by his red skin, popping veins, creaking bones, and the struggle to clench his fist. Lee lands his final strike, but before they hit the ground, Gaara turns his gourd to sand and uses it to break his fall. When Lee finishes, his body is completely done and in no shape to fight. In the 5th phase, Gaara somehow has enough chakra in him to fight. With Sand Coffin, Gaara breaks the defenseless Lee's arm and leg along with his dreams of ever becoming a ninja again. In the conclusion, Guy saves Lee before Gaara can kill him with his sand, disqualifying Lee. This is a crushing defeat because the underdog, who was always a failure, put 200% into this fight and pushed his body to the limit to win, and just when we thought he had, his opponent gets back up and nearly kills him. To pull on our heartstrings even more, Lee stands back up, unconscious, with his leg broken, but still ready to fight. Even though he lost, he accomplished his dream during this fight by proving that he truly was a splendid ninja without ninjutsu or genjutsu. This fight is so legendary because it is the biggest underdog fight in anime. In a sense, Lee was physically disabled, being unable to do something that everyone else could, but he still gave the strongest and most talented ninja in the exams hell, almost defeating him with pure taijutsu. This battle really promotes Naruto's themes of hard work can surpass natural talent, and is why it will always be in my top 10 fights. Thank you for watching, follow me on Twitter, like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content.